Am I enough? Am I too much? Questions I ask myself daily, hourly some days. Yes, I am enough. No, I'm not too much. Because accepting and loving myself at any given moment is a courageous act. And accepting and loving yourself at any given moment is also a courageous act. Let me emphasize why that matters now more than at any other time in our history. You see, we are at a place in history where the accepted course or established existence for human existence is being challenged. Look no further than conversations about gender expression or unisex bathrooms, DACA and immigration, the U.S. government response to natural disasters in Florida, Texas, and Puerto Rico, the displaced Rohingya people throughout the Middle East, the practical canonization of Hugh Hefner at his recent passing, the demonization of former NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick, the inability to distinguish between Muslims and radical extremists, and how some folks are always lone wolves while others are terrorists, thugs, and criminals. Let's think about what it means to exist in today's climate if you deviate in any way from the norm. You do know what I mean by the norm, right? The default. Western culture, straight or heterosexual, Christian, Protestant or Catholic, European descent with distinctly European features, male. For folks outside the norm, daily life can be like death by a million paper cuts if you allow it and depart from my admonishment of self-acceptance and self-love from the last time I graced the stage. This time I'm doubling down. Doubling down is to strengthen one's commitment to a particular strategy or course of action, typically one that is potentially risky. I stand before people regularly talking about inclusive leadership, the power of storytelling, and making bold moves. So today I ask you, what is a bolder move than doubling down on your self-acceptance and self-love? When was the last time you did it? Who was the opposition? What was at stake? And most importantly, are you prepared to do it again? And this message is relevant for those of you who do fit the norm, because you have a unique opportunity in today's climate to lift others as you maintain yourselves. It is not a zero-sum game. The minute we all drive home the importance of every single member of society's contributions and inherent value, all our contributions and value rise. We are faced with choices to be more inclusive every day, all the time. So many, in fact, that many of those choices are made unconsciously. We choose to follow our conscience or follow the crowd. We choose one group's safety, one group's comfort, over another group's safety. We choose to speak up when something counters our values, or we silently comply. Make no mistake, even when you don't choose, you choose. So today, I'm asking you to double down on your self-acceptance and self-love. Now remember, self-acceptance in the face of comparisons is hard, intentional work, guys. But it is work that you will do again and again in your lifetime. And it is indeed great work, and work that has propelled me as my business has had unprecedented growth that coincided with an unprecedented personal skid. Without question, accepting myself, my circumstances, all the good and all the ugly, buoyed me. Acceptance is knowing yourself, knowing your talents, your abilities, your strengths, your wants, needs, and desires. Knowing who to surround yourself with and who to flee from. Understanding how your family and your upbringing impacts you and the way you see the world. Understanding America's history and accepting all of it, the great, the awful. And acknowledging how that history continues to impact us today. And finding your role in how to course correct it. Acceptance is the opposite of resistance. Accept every bit of who and how you are, so you have a shot at accepting others. And again, I tell you to love yourself. And loving yourself involves self-care. Having solid self-care, repeatable actions are not a luxury, guys. That's a necessity. Be gracious to yourself. You cannot love or display authentic love to someone else or others without a feeling of constant and strong affection for yourself. So now I'm asking you to double down. 2 ways to double down. First, create healing spaces in your life. And what I mean by healing spaces is take time to completely tune out the world and its messages to you. Yes, do that regularly. Take time daily, weekly, and monthly to completely unplug. We were not built for the sheer amount of information we consume currently. Further, I'd argue we weren't even designed for the inordinate amounts of emotional trauma heaped upon us by a 24-hour news cycle. The fast pace of news today does not give us the opportunity to absorb, process, and release what we see. And so therefore, we get clogged. Clogged about the world, clogged about others, and clogged about ourselves and what matters most. So guys, start building daily opportunities for healing space. Start small and build it. Last time I was here, I told you about my radical self-care adventures, where I spend literally 48 hours to 72 hours away from home, someplace undisclosed, people can't find me, completely unplugged. And I'm happy to tell you that I've learned to do that at home now, without travel on a regular basis. Daily, weekly, monthly, I completely take time and space to heal and rejuvenate myself, as it is a central part of my self-acceptance and self-love. Next, I want you to build a tribe of people to walk through this life with you. No man or woman is an island. We need others. We're built for connection and relationship. And one of the best ways to build on your self-acceptance and self-love is to surround yourself with people who are with and for you. People who accept, love, and will celebrate you. The last 3 years of my life, guys, have been the most challenging so far. And as I've recalibrated every single area of my life, it was my people, my tribe, that made the difference. They were a lifeline to me. People who challenge me, people who support me and my kids through this change, people who lift me and remind me of who I really am versus what society or the world would say to me or about me. People who hold me when I'm spent. People who cry with me when I'm hurt, and people who party with me when I win. Absolutely. Jim Rohn says you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Think about that. And get real tight around who those people are, as they have a direct impact on your self-acceptance and self-love. Get real tight around who knows you're enough and who knows you're not too much. I challenge you to do what I did about a decade ago and build a personal board of directors. Yeah, I did that. And think about that. Businesses don't start without a board of advisors, right? And if they do start without one, when they're ready to ratchet it up to the next level, they surely build one. Now remember to put together a group of people who have talents and gifts that you lack, or people who are on a similar life path, but just further along in the journey. Make sure your board of directors is diverse. Do not stack the deck one way or the other, because their purpose is to use their gifts and talents to help you grow yours. Guys, with healing spaces and then an incredible tribe, your self-acceptance and self-love journey just got a huge boost. Getting up every day and bringing your best self to make the world, your world, better just by showing up in full acceptance and love takes courage. To withstand all the expectations and pressures and projected imagery of what is good, what is right, what is acceptable, who is lovable, and still show up in full acceptance and self-love is a heroic act. And I ask you again, if I can be a hero, what are you waiting for? Thank you.
The Hero Roundtables are the global events that ask the question, what is a hero? You've just seen one hero talk. To find more and join the conversation, visit our website or social media.